Hello, I thought I'd share some things about this design that might help your tattoo artist. I mean, I don't need to explain how to do their job, but I figured this could be a little bit useful as far as the scaling this was at. So this was done at 400 dpi to scale. So if you can convert this on whatever program you use, then go for it. But that was the intent, and it was also done in separate layers. I'll figure out a way to get this file to you so you can fiddle around if need be, and also to talk about the things that line up. So I did this background stuff. Come on, hide, go away. As a separate layer than the foreground stuff. Um, so yeah, it doesn't necessarily need to be grayed out, but I think it looks kind of cool and helps keep it easier to read. So I would do the skewer first, right? Because everything on the skewer is internal and lined up, and this should be an okay job to get done in a couple hours of pain and suffering. Anyway, so do this one first, and then when it is time to put this one on, this thick line lines up here, and this will be your biggest anchor point. If you have it to scale and you have this line lining up, the rest of it should line up just fine. And then to confirm that it's lined up, this thin line here lines up as well. So those are the things that need to line up. The other little things that are important are this circle needs to be behind this line, and this lines up here. So we have several anchor points. So that will be to get this lined up, and if that is lined up, then everything is dandy. Everything is glorious. If this design is too big to do in one sitting, I recommend doing the word circle first, with this outer ring first, and then you could do this inner ring later. I could send you those separate files, or if this file you have and you can figure it out. So this is that bit, which you could do separately as well, but it's a bit more interconnected. Um, and this one is separate. So yeah, you could do that. Anyway, you could just hide everything except for that, and then print this out and use it as your magic purple line thingy. Anyway, so hopefully that helps. Again, the anchor points, this thick line lines up here, this thin line lines up here, this lines up here, this lines up here. So that yep, yep. I think that's, oh, one more thing I should say about line thickness. So the thinnest lines in this design are in this chunk right here. So this thin line, the thin line. So these thin lines are all they're supposed to be the same, but I kind of freehand them when I do the design. So anyway, and they're all, I was going for 1 millimeter. So if you do the thin lines with a 1 millimeter nib, that's perfect. If you do it with less than 1 millimeter, that's even better, because then when it fades and bleeds, it will grow to be that 1 millimeter line thickness. And they can't be too thin. That's a lie. They cannot be too thin. These thin lines can be as thin as you can make them. But anyway, I kept them at 1 millimeter. These lines here, also same thing, 1 millimeter. Anyway, so do your thin lines at less than 1 millimeter, and it should be fine. No lines are thinner than that, even this one. Anyway, sorry, I'm looking here at my little measuring tool. Uh, that's that. I think if you have any questions, feel free to email me or ask me. And it's going to be, again, pretty big. Again, if this is the body, oh, I should talk about that. So this is to line up, pointing kind of towards the, I guess, the top of the tailbone, right above the butt crack. And this is right at the edge of the pectoral. So pectoral muscle is here, right? Armpit is here. This kind of wraps around behind the armpit, and this goes to the back. So this would be kind of on Andrew's back, and this would be on his chest-ish, like, again, if the pectoral is like right about here. But again, you can fiddle with scale. As long as you keep the whole thing to scale, it's fine. You can mess with size. You can also mess with the angle a little bit. Just don't change it too terribly much, because it's still red bottom counterclockwise. As long as this is still the bottom, effectively, this is the bottom. But, yeah, you can still fiddle with it and get it to fit in a very nice way. Anyway, but it's all based on that skewer, so just start with the skewer. Make the skewer happy. This is the skewer. Yeah, make the skewer happy, and then everything else will fall into place around it. So yeah, that's that. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that's helpful. And I have sent you an image file of, well, Andrew has sent you the image of this and of, come on, revisible this. So yeah,